What's up, walk-ins? Welcome, fans, listeners, our best friends. Michael here. I'm doing a quick intro into this week's episode. So it's actually a reflection of the webinar that we had a couple weeks ago. And it's about talking metrics, value versus vanity. I love metrics. I'm a numbers guy, so I had a lot of fun doing this. But I wanted to bring some interesting topics to that. So a couple of things to note for this episode. We're going to talk about what metrics you've been given by your agencies over time and are convinced are good things, but they may not be. They may be the vanities, and what value metrics actually looks like. And we'll give real life examples where something looked great on the surface, but it was not at the end of the day. So I wanted to touch on that and just let you guys know that this episode will be completely focused on numbers. And just, if you have reporting from your current agency or from your current marketing person, have you looked at the numbers and just digested what that actually means? And that's the whole point of this webinar. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the other side.
And now we're going to show you something fun. I call it fun. It's actually really sad, but
I love it. I mean, I created it because we were trying to solve a problem for our clients.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of the number one things that urgent cares have, and you're probably one of them, is that your missed call rate is atrocious. I think the industry standard or acceptance is 30%. 30% of your calls can be missed, which is not good. I don't know why they think that's a good standard, but you guys do. I don't know why.
Unfortunately, I think that number, while that may be the industry standard, it's been my experience that it's higher than that.
It is. And that's right. And so we work with a lot of clients, and their missed call rate's like 50, 60, 70%, which is crazy to think about. But anyway, I want Nick to kind of show you guys this tool.
Yeah, but before you click over that, I want to say one thing on this. Each one of these things, if you don't know them, going into 2026, get to know it.
Yeah.
Get to understand it. Figure out what it is. What is your daily patient volume? That's averaged. If you saw 5,000 patients in 2025, divide that by months and days, and you're going to get an average daily count, right?
Yes.
If you don't understand what your average revenue per visit is, go look at how much money that you made in 2025 and divide it by the number of patients that came through the door. That's your average revenue per visit. Your lead to appointment rate. Michael explained this pretty well, but go figure that number out. And then your missed call rate, this is something, I'll talk about it later in the slides, but this is something that you're going to have to, not should, not think about it. This is something that you're going to have to solve for in 2026, which I'll tell you why later. But we did help you by putting this missed call calculator together.
We helped you by scaring you.
Yeah. And I honestly, I hope it does scare you into action. I mean that sincerely.
Yes.
So what we wanted you to see is how much are your missed calls costing your business? The problem is that simply too many calls are going unanswered by your front desk. I'll talk about that later as well. But let's go ahead and look at that. So the average patient, I'm going to lower this. I want to give you a good realistic. Let's even work off of percentages from.
There, you got this. Somebody's already asking access to this calculator.
Anna, if you don't mind dropping this link, that would be great. And if you can't, let me know and I'll drop it in the chat. So what we want to do is let's set it at $100 per patient. And let's just say that you're missing 5 calls a day. Okay. And let's just say that your conversion rate is 30%. So if out of 100 calls, 30% of those are converting. 24 to 35 is the industry average. And then what you're going to see over here is your daily patient loss, 1.5, your monthly patients lost, 45, annual patients lost, roughly 550. Your daily loss is $150. This is where it starts to compound, though. This is where we're losing money. Is $4,500 a month in lost revenue, $54,000. And this is just on the low end. Let's just say that you're missing 10 calls per day. Look at those numbers jump. Now you've paid for your rent for the whole year just by answering your phone.
Yeah.
Right. Teresa asks, do we have any data on patients wanting a text option instead of a phone call? So no, I don't, but I'll tell you what, I will get that information. Because I'm curious about that as well. You're wondering if people would rather text you than phone call. I can tell you this, that most of our online schedulers have text options built into them. Not ours, but I'm thinking like Xperity's Clockwise, Solve, ZocDoc, all of that does have text options in there. And we are getting more requests than we have in the past about adding text features in chats online. All right. So we can talk about that for sure. But this is a huge issue. And Hannah just said that she'll make sure that it's included in the resolutions at the end and in the replay. So we will get this to you. All right. I'm glad that you want it because y'all are recognizing that this is a big deal. This little box I programmed into the bottom was a minimum effort issue, right? Let's just do a reality check. And even if 50% of the missed calls, that could add up to $54,000 per year at this level that I put. Okay. Let me tell you the reality of what we're seeing. I hate to say this, but this is what we're seeing right here is 40%. This is what we're
probably
seeing.
worse than that, honestly.
Yeah, we're seeing 40% and more
Yeah.
of missed calls. I can't, of all the things we're going to talk about today, Michael, if you fix this one thing, 2026 will be the best year you've ever had.
Absolutely. And it's so fun. And I'm actually working with another urgent care right now that they're not a client. This is more like we had a conversation. It's like, I want to help you on this. I go do a call analysis and then they have 3 locations.
Right.
All 3 were hitting 50% missed calls. And they even said, yeah, I've seen the phone ring and they just ignore it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how often do you train them? Well, I haven't in a long time. Like, well, this is going to matter. It's going to matter a lot.
It's going to be a big deal. Well, I don't want to spend too much time here. I will make sure that this resource is available to everyone. By the end of the call, you will have a link to this for you.
Yep.
And if you have any questions about it, reach out to us because we want you to be able to use it and make good decisions off of it. Is it this one, Michael, or do I need to go? You just.
Well, I have to hop right back out to it.
Oh, good.
Anyways.
Oh, good.
It's totally fine. All right, moving forward for time's sake. So talking about the what kind of growth, this is where are you saying to yourself, what kind of growth do I really want? I want and work off of percentages, right? Where
I've got to note this real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm looking at these percentages and I'm going, if you only got the exact same amount of phone calls, you could see this kind of growth just by answering.
Yeah, here's
Anyway,
a challenge. If you
sorry.
want a 20% growth in revenue, reduce your missed call rate by 20%.
I mean,
and it
boom, you're
might
welcome. Webinar over.
it might just happen.
Yeah.
And we're laughing about it, but it's laughing
so
because
sad.
it's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
We're
Anyway.
gonna talk about it. Keep going. Keep going.
What's your monthly patient visit goal? Because here's the thing, your daily average is important, but remember it's an average because there are some days you may get 10 patients, and there are some days you may get 50 patients, and you should never judge it by one day. It never makes sense to do that. But if you could pull a whole month and average it out, it gives you a better perspective of what's going on in your business.
That's good.
And it allows you to set some goals for your clinic. So instead of saying a daily goal, you want to say a monthly goal to your clinic people, right? So if you say, hey, we have a goal of 1,000 patients a month. Cool. On average, that's around 35-ish patients a day, average, right? And so it's a lot easier to say at the end of the month, hey, we hit our goal. Here's a reward. I don't know what the reward is, but here's a reward for that. Let's keep going. So it's helpful when you do these goals that you get everybody on the same page because it's not just one person pushing, right? The whole team has to push together or you'll never achieve the goal in the first place. And we know that internally, right?
Right.
If we can't get everybody on board on something, it's not going to happen because it takes time, people, and resources to get it done.
Yeah, this ought to be a mantra in your weekly meetings that you're having is, hey, what is our patient volume goal for this month?
And they should all just spit it out.
And should spit it out.
Yeah.
I love the fact that when I call on it in our team meetings on Monday, if I ask people, hey, what is our goal? They can spit it out. It's not a challenge. They know that we're going to be helping 100 urgent care clinics pass the 60, I think with 50 patients per day volume. Yeah, if I can't even spit it out, how could they?
It's 40.
We dropped it down.
It's 40.
That's right.
Because 40 is the magic number of like making money for an urgent care usually.
Yep. And we want you profitable.
Which goes to the next thing right here. Is your goal to grow your clinic beyond just revenue, but are you looking to add services? Are you adjusting your hours? Are you adding another staff member to help with that? Are you adding that second location you've been thinking about for a long time because you saw somebody close down and that looks like a great location? Or are you looking at adding like occupational health? We don't even talk too much about occupational health. That's a different animal, but it's different for a good reason. But these are all things like going toward growth. You're not going, if you chose any of these things, you're not going backwards, you're going forward, you're getting bigger. So just kind of keep that in mind and just want a reminder of to simply, this is so important. If you don't set this up at the beginning, have something to focus on, you're just not going to hit any of it. And then you're going to get the end of 2026 a year from now and say, what did we do? Did we hit our goals? What goals? Because that's a real conversation. All right, next here we actually have a cool little tool. I won't spend much time on it. I do have it up in the tab. We'll show it real quick, and we will share it with you guys as always because we love sharing stuff. But this is a quick calculator built in the Google Sheets that allows you to kind of see, hey, if we did increase by like 5 patients per day, what kind of revenue numbers? What's it going to take, right? Like if I want to increase by 20% revenue, how many patients do I really need on average to make that happen?
While you're pulling that up, I got to say, we revamped this the other day just for our own agency.
Yeah.
And while it's not focused on patients, we're focused on clinics.
Yeah.
I did not realize, even though I created, well, with some help, created this for our urgent care clinics.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how effective this tool helped me plan our 2026
Yep.
on our revenue goals and how we're going to go to market on our marketing strategy.
Exactly. Because I mean, and that's the thing too, in talking about where you are currently in 2025, you can start looking back and see what things are happening.
Right.
And then you can start saying, all right, because whether you like it or not, it takes money to grow.
Mhm.
You can't just say, I'm just going to do the exact same thing this year. This happens a lot. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did in 2025 and do it in 2026, but I'm going to grow 20%. No, you're not. You're just not. Like,
Unless you answer your phone.
unless your environment just changes and then all your competitors go away, and that's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
That's correct.
So that's just the reality that you're in. Like you have to make adjustments. We made ourselves as a company made major adjustments this year compared to previous years, and we felt the result of it at the end of the year.
Positively.
Yeah, in a positive way. And now we're like, okay, let's crank it up some more. It's not all money driven, but budgets are a thing. So anyway. Moving on for time's sake, just want to touch on that once again.
Real quick in that slideshow, I'm just going to kick back over for 2 seconds just to say right here, this little blue URL, if you're going to use this sheet, click on that. I personally went through and did a video walkthrough with me on video showing you how to use this tool so that you would have step-by-step instructions on how to make this work for your clinic.
Absolutely. And since you are in control, I'll let you move to the next slide. There we
go. Cool. Takeaways.
All right. So takeaways, I think I went through this pretty well. The reality is, where do you want to be? Let's be real with it, not just a made up number. And then where do you want to go? Like, what does it mean? Thinking about your budgets, thinking about the things to fix. I mean, as we were harping, fixing your missed call rate is probably more impactful than anything else we're talking about today, but just wanted to touch on that. So now I'm going to pass it to a question. What is your current patients per day volume, like on average? This is average, right? And the reason why we put in 23, most urgent care's break-even point is 23 patients per day average. And so we know that if you're at 22, you're not really making money. At 23, you're right there. And at 24 plus, you're starting to make a little bit of money. So we understand that for sure. So we'll let that run for just a second longer. And
I always had to like figure this out when I was in math. A is greater than 23. B is less than 23. And everybody knows the equal to. But I always like, oh my God, which is it? All right. Cool. We'll close that out and
close it out and keep going. So some are above and some are below.
Awesome.
So that's pretty common.
Right. I'll just say it this way. Stay here for a second. If you're below 23 patients per day, your first goal is to get to 23 patients per day so that you can breathe.
Yep.
If you're over 23 patients per day, it's time to get to your peak, which typically for a clinic, you can see somewhere between 50 and 60 patients per day before you have to start adding a provider, adding a location, or adding a service. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep going. All right. Smarter budgeting with growth.
This is all you.
Yes. How much should you spend on your marketing? That is the $1 million question, right? What we found is that most urgent care clinics should allocate 7 to 10% of their annual revenue toward marketing. Great. So if you're a $1 million clinic, spending 70 grand on marketing is a pretty good goal. Spending 100,000 on marketing is a higher end goal. There's a couple of ways to approach this, and I like to look at where do I want to be in 2026? Let's set that number first. So if you're at $1 million, is your goal to be at 1.3 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, whatever it is?
Yep.
Look at that. So if you're at 10% of your budget at currently, go to 1.5 million and maybe look at 7 to 8% of that budget. And then you can make decisions based on that number. But don't market with the budget that you're using to get where you are today. Use a percentage of where you want to be in 2026. I want to make sure that I say that very clearly. All right. So the larger goals obviously are going to require larger investments. We've seen some clinics that are spending upward of 12 to 15% of their marketing because they are in a high growth mode. Kudos to them. That's awesome. I know not everybody can do that. Some people will experience radical growth in 2026 and it will break you. My recommendation is to pace for steady growth.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you're aiming for 30% revenue growth in 2026, your marketing budget should grow proportionally. This is what I'm talking about, going from $1 million to 1.3 million. Then you're going to want to spend somewhere between $100,000 and $130,000 on your total marketing. Now, real quick, understand that your entire marketing, using that worksheet that we gave you, it should include payroll of your marketing people or person or agency. It should include that. It should include your dollar investment in ad spend. It should include your merch. Like if you're buying merchandise that you're giving out to people, it should include contests that you're running. It should include growth initiatives on television, radio, print, and going out into the community, your boots on the ground. So all of that is an all-encompassing budget, not just your ad spend on Google.
And then you're finding out like 100,000 doesn't get very far sometimes.
You got to go quicker than you know.
Yeah, it does.
And marketing is not a cost. It is a revenue driver. It is an investment in your future.
Yeah.
Okay?
And we can go ahead and tell you right now, never put all your marketing eggs in one basket. It does.
That would include us if we're your agency.
Yeah. And we're even talking about right here, like on the budgeting side, where our most successful clinics do more than just what we're doing. They have layers to their marketing and strategy tied to it all. And it's just the reality. Like, yes, digital is very powerful, does all the right things, but we also recognize when you add in all the other types of marketing out there, it just lifts digital as well with it. So just that reminder.
So you're going to break in your marketing into 3 categories. I'm not going to just read this slide here, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have your online, your offline, and your client retention.
All right. So how do you think you did listen to that webinar, and what things did you say, yep, I don't do that, or I don't really know what I did there, and I wish I spent more time on that part of the business and I just ignored things? Or you think, hey, I did everything right, and it was just a reminder that I know how to run my business. So I'm curious what you guys thought. If you got any questions or want to have a deeper dive with me or Nick about any of this, just send a message at hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com and let us know, and we'll schedule time with you. I hope you had a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.